Hi everyone. Hope it is good going. So further, just let us focus on conflict management or conflict situations in the organizations. So after knowing the concept of conflict and then the different types of the conflicts or levels of conflicts in the organizations, so further we need to understand the conflict situations in the organization and the process of the conflict, how the conflict starts and then the travels, and it's complete the process that we'll try to understand. So with this, in this module, so you are going to learn or know the conflict situations and then process different types of the situations and then their antecedents, how they are. So such things we are going to learn in this video module. So why and how do we get in conflict situations? So what is the reason for getting into the conflict? So when we are dealing with the people and then interacting with the fellow colleagues or even our subordinates, so how we just involve? So what kind of situation that actually the prevails when we are entering into the conflict? So if you see the issues that are there, so it is something related to the facts, right? The present situation or problems. So you can see the facts, you see when you just look at the situations and then various problems and then issues at workplace. So all people will not take the situations in a similar way because every individual perception that differs from others. So according to a person, so what he or she thinks, so that is not the same when you just look at the others. So that's why the facts, no, the facts, whatever the one fellow the feels that may not be the same. So the goals, how things out to be, are the future conditions sought. So the goals are the another things, and the methods that are there in the organizations, like the best methods, easy methods, or quickest or most ethical. So this type of things are the mainly the sources are the reason for the conflict. The values, even the belief of the the values and the priorities, how the individuals think and then choose the goals and then objectives, so that varies from person to person, so that naturally leads to the differentiation. So the history, that is what has gone on or before, you can see that before and after, so that also the another aspect of this one. Then the components of conflict, so that is the situation is the frustration. So when you feel blocked, right, because of the conflict, you can see that there is a frustration, and then conceptualization of the problem and what is going on. We try to think and then understand so about the problem, because there is a problem cropped up, and then we need to understand what is the reason for that. Then conceptualization of behavior and then intentions. So what does that mean? So why I am like this, and what is the reason for all these? So from the different perspective, so that also we discussed and debated in this one. And then outcome is emotional and then cognitive and then behavioral. You can see that it's attitude, so that maybe liking or disliking or the negative. So sometimes we develop all these things at workplace. So if you see further the conflict process, it has its own starting from one level to the another level. So you can see that the starting of the the person's interaction, and then the differing each other, and then on issues, and looking at the issues and then discussing the issues, and then why there is a difference between the two people, and the step by step you can see that they just continue and they differ, and then further withstand with their own points, and then they don't want to compromise with others, and then they want to hold their opinion. They differ strongly with others. So this way you can see that. So uh, the conflict exists at the workplace. To answer uncertain conditions, like the secrecy resources, and when there is some kind of secrecy at workplace, so that itself is the source, because there is no disclosing information, and conflicting the attitude of the people, and ambiguous jurisdiction, and the communication, the barriers, and need for consensus, and unresolved the priority, the conflicts, and the knowledge of self and then others. So these are different types of antecedent conditions on which the people try to they differentiate from each other. So then how to create the conflict? So for example, so sometimes the people knowingly they involve in the conflict, they become the source of conflict, and then sometimes unknowingly, knowingly or unknowingly, the conflict is created by the people at workplace. So some, for example, if you not being a role model for others, because you are expected to be a role model or figurehead at workplace. If you are not interested, then others will try to find out with you. So being a manager, why you are not coming forward and then taking the responsibility and then representing all of us. So like that. So then the next is the take credit and then no recognition. So you are just taking the credit out of others, and then you are not recognizing others. Then be judgmental. So when you are too judgmental, that you are just judging at workplace what is right, what is wrong, and then you are finding sometimes fault with others. So that is the another. So send the written messages. So sending written messages and then not keeping a kind of the personal rapport and relations. And then subordinates should come to see me. And this is a kind of attitude when you have. So you are not moving out and then you expect others to come. So make yourself inaccessible to your team, and if you are not available, and then you won't allow others to meet you. And no, like this individual versus the team approach, and then when they have the two different types of the views, that is another reason. And the telling them and then consulting them or deciding with them. So if this type of environment is required, right? If not there, then that is the source of the conflict. So then the come tomorrow. So when you say that the come tomorrow, when the work is supposed to be completed just in a moment, so then when you ask this person to come tomorrow, so that actually source of conflict. Then introduce the changes without any consultation or discussion. So that is another reason for conflict. So the general the causes of conflict is the poorly defined goals in the organization, and divergent the personal values, and lack of the cooperation and trust, and the competition of the scarce resources, unclear roles, and lack of job descriptions at workplace. So these are the different reasons for the conflict at workplace. So further, if you look at the effects of the conflict in the organizations, then outcome is the stress, absenteeism, and staff turnover. So the demotivation among the employees and non-productivity, when the output is less. So these are the major issues. Now you can just see it's a big kind of loss when a conflict is continued in the organization among the people. So the compatibility will be missing, and then they are stress prone, and people are tempted to just quit the workplace, and then authorized or sometimes unauthorized absenteeism, and then people will leave the job and they don't feel like work, and then they don't want to show the better performance on the work, the jobs. So these are the issues as far as the conflict is concerned. And then, so thank you very much, and then looking forward to meet you in the next video.